I'm Maxwell Armstrong. I'm a philosophy and world religion dual major with now a minor in women and gender studies. I'm a junior at Rowan going into my senior year next semester. So it definitely wasn't something that I immediately jumped into, but ever since I was little, I always did have an intrigue in history. Just like school itself wasn't something that I always was too fond of, but history, I was always like, okay, I can get into this. And then I got really into kind of something that everyone gets into, but Greek mythology. When I was a kid, the Percy Jackson books were a thing. I read them, little spiel. So then I started to get into just religion and just all that kind of stuff. And just the whole Greek thinking in general. And then obviously because of that, you hear about different philosophers. And then as time went on, basically, I just got really intrigued by that thought process. And I had a class out of college and at RCGC when I had no idea when to do philosophy. And just that class was really cool. And I was like, whoa, this is something that I'm into. And it kind of mixes a lot with the history aspect that I always thought was cool. And then a lot of it also mixes in with the religion, because then I was getting into Eastern philosophy and stuff, which coincides with all those religions. And then one day I just woke up and I was like, well, if I'm into this stuff, I might as well study it. And that's how I picked the philosophy and world religion. My favorite class definitely was just my intro to philosophy class. That was the class I had. I had the general history courses that I thought were pretty cool. And then even sociology classes I had that really intrigued me, and psychology stuff that was really interesting. But when I had just the regular intro to philosophy class, something about it just was it was a different style of thinking. The way that the class was taught, how you go through things, it was just a lot, it was different. And it was a class that really revolved around early philosophy. It was super introductory. So it was just all about those early Greek philosophers, which was really easy for me to grasp because I already had a big intrigue in the Greek stuff. So I actually took a class that led me to become a dual major that I didn't think would intrigue me at all. It was Intro to the Bible. It was a religion class, and they're super close as far as the majors go. They used to be part of one another here. So it's not the best out of the major answer. But that class, I was raised Christian, but I never paid attention to anything. I went to CCD. So I kind of always blew off the Bible and all that stuff a little bit. So this class, I was I don't really think I'm going to be into it, but I was scheduling around a job at the time, so I was this works, it fits, it gets me an elective, and I picked it, and then it ended up being the most intriguing class I had last year at all, and I was I want to study this more, and I picked it as my dual major, and I just was going into that with a mindset that this class is going to be dumb. That's kind of what I thought, and it ended up being the exact opposite. Once I actually got to Rowan, I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do with my philosophy, a bachelor's in philosophy, because the world religion came after. The bachelor's in philosophy I knew I wanted to do. I figured that no matter what I do, I'd be able to get something just because I had a degree at that point. But when I came here and I started getting introduced to all my professors, the idea of being a professor became very intriguing. It was just something that I was I think this is something that I could do, and seeing my professors and just the way they talked and what they did and kind of how much they enjoyed their jobs and how passionate they were about their jobs made me be I think I could really do this, because this is something that I'm really into, because not many people, you don't just pick philosophy and world religion unless you're into it. For me, it's just kind of jumping right into master's programs. I could do a doctorate, but I think I want to take a little bit more time just kind of figuring out what realm of philosophy or even religion that I want to kind of really focus in, especially now that I have the dual major. I got a little bit to think about. I'm getting closer to what I think I want to do, but I got plenty of time. I'm only a junior, and I got a couple months before I even got to start thinking about applying. But that's my next step, definitely, is getting that master's. My biggest tip, I'm a transfer, so so I definitely understand the transfers, but my biggest tip would definitely have to be just don't rush picking your major. I came in here liberal arts, then I picked education, and this was when I was at community college at this point. I picked education, and then I switched to business, and then I switched to communications, and I switched to all these different majors, some of them because I thought it was what I wanted to do, some of it because my parents were telling me hey, there's a lot of money in this. But then when I just kind of relaxed, took my own time, I realized what major I did want to do. And that was kind of like why I enjoyed school. The only reason why I'm able to be here now, like I get honor roll here, which that was something that I never got in my life before. So it's just like, I took the time, I picked something that I really enjoyed, and that's what I think the biggest advice I could give to somebody is just really think about what you gotta do. If you're a freshman or a sophomore, if you don't have a major, that's fine. Like if you pick it your junior year, like you got plenty of time.